up another state to prey upon people that are just already in a desperate situation and then dumping them off at the risk of life and limb to them and to their children, that's a no-go for me, no matter what your party affiliation.
At the risk of life and limb by sending immigrants to Martha's Vineyard, one of the richest and safest areas in the country, so safe that even our former President Obama has an estate there? Let me ask you something. Why is everybody mad at DeSantis for sending immigrants to a very safe, very rich area with amazing schools? But no one is mad at the people of Martha's Vineyard for shipping these immigrants away from these opportunities. Because you guys can't think for yourself? Because the media didn't instigate this fake outrage against the people of Martha's Vineyard for shipping immigrants away from a safe area. Martha's Vineyard had more than enough jobs. They have thousands of job listings and only 48 immigrants. There was plenty of money raised for these immigrants that could have been used for temporary housing. Instead, the people of Martha's Vineyard charity decided to keep the money for their own benefit. They kept money that was raised under the impression that it would be going to these immigrants. And then after keeping the money that could have changed the life of these immigrants, they shipped them away. And none of you are outraged. That's because you don't actually care about the immigrants. That's because you're incapable of independent thought. It's because you've allowed the media to tell you how you should feel and think. Because you know what would have made DeSantis look really bad? If the people of Martha's Vineyard had allowed the immigrants to stay. Because you know what that would mean? That would mean that the children of these immigrants would get the amazing education that Martha's Vineyard has to offer. That they would benefit from how safe the area is and that they would get these good jobs. Instead, they shipped them out of their little island to somewhere that they couldn't be seen, but they're pro-immigrant as long as it's nowhere near them. And you know how they control you guys? With hate. They have you so busy hating other political parties that you can't see past what they're doing. You don't care about what they're doing, even though it's just as bad, if not worse. They use emotionally triggering phrases like, at the risk of life and limb. Who should they have been afraid of? Karen? Because the worst Karen was going to do was get them deported. Oh, wait, she did deport them. Well, she got them shipped away from her line of view, where they could be behind the scenes and not in front of her. Do you realize how, actually disturbing what they did was? And then as soon as Democrats, or even liberal-leaning influencers per se, have anything to say criticizing the Democratic Party turns against them real hard, and I've seen it happen. How is shipping off a bunch of immigrants to a very rich area, to a very safe area, to an area with really great school for the kids, how is that preying on people? They used the word prey because they knew it was emotionally triggering. They knew that you people weren't going to think and connect the dots and that you would just get angry. While DeSantis' intention was to show the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party, and he succeeded, if he had been right about the Democratic Party, this was the best thing that could have happened to these immigrants, being sent to such an affluent area. But he was right. So all these rich people did was ship them away because they don't like immigrants. They only claim to.